What's going on, everyone? This is Zach back with another solo episode on Clutch Crew Sports YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be talking about who I think the Orlando Magic should take first overall in the NBA draft. As everybody knows, I'm a big Magic fan, so I wanted to make this video because there's no clear consensus number one draft pick in this year's draft. There's three guys that a lot of people have at the top of their boards in their own tier. Chet Holmgrim, Paolo Banchero, and Jabari Smith. So I wanted to do some research on these three players and kind of figure out which of these guys is the best fit for the Magic. So I'm going to go over each of the three players and then give my thoughts on who I think the Magic should pick. So we'll start here with Chet Holmgren first. 7 feet tall, 195 pounds. All of these guys are one and done players from college, so they just have 1 year of college tape. But Chet was a guy, even before he went to Gonzaga, was considered to be the top pick in the draft. He had that expectations coming from high school. If you're looking here, that what you see in this picture here is like the scariest thing about Chet is just his size. Which is a double-edged sword because it's good and bad. The 7 feet tall is the good part. The 195 pounds is a little bit concerning. The Magic drafted, they had a guy similar to this in Mo Bamba who's still on the team, who I don't think Mo Bamba is going to return to the Magic, but there's some concern that with him being only 195 pounds that he might be too fragile, too small, and get bullied by people like Joker, Joel Embiid. And then another concern for Chet was just his production wasn't as you would hope for with Gonzaga playing in the conference that they're playing in. He only put up 14 points a game, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. He shot 40% from three, which isn't bad, but it could be a little bit better. And I will say too, his defense it's pretty good. He's known for his shot blocking. That's his specialty. I don't think he's great to switch. He's not going to guard the 1 through 5 or anything like that. He can be a rim protector. I just think he has to bulk up a little bit more. But offensively, a lot of people call him like a unicorn for the ball handling skills that he has at his size. I think Chet's really he's the most interesting prospect, I think, in the last several drafts for sure. Just the ceiling's so high on him. And then you have Jabari Smith from Auburn. This is a guy who clearly you just watch a few Auburn games, he stands out. I think he's a guy who didn't even need to go to college. He's pro ready. Jabari Smith, he's going to have an impact right away, I think, for whatever team he gets drafted by. But just some basics on him: 6'10", 220. He's only 19 years old, and like I said, played at Auburn. He's going to be a power forward in this league, but the thing that makes him special is just his shooting. He's the best three-point shooter out of the bunch at 42%. Averaged 17 points a game, 7 rebounds. And the SEC was a pretty tough conference. There's really no easy games in the SEC. Even if you're on the road against, a Vanderbilt, that's not a gimme game anymore. So he had a great season at Auburn, clearly shined, helped Auburn be a 2 seed, had one of their best regular seasons ever. He's very good prospect. There's not really many bad things to say about him. I think Smith is going to be a safe pick for whoever takes him. The Magic very well could pick him. I'd be happy with it, but definitely like a modern day power forward, and I think he's going to be very good. And then finally here we have Paulo Banchero. He's a Duke player, so Duke always has these one and done players in the top end of the lottery every year. 6'10", 250, so he's the biggest, I believe, of the three, weight-wise. 19, similar stats to Jabari with 17 points a game, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. his shooting is the one thing that he needs help on. I mean, he is creative offensively, but his 3-point shooting could be better. His defense, a lot of people think, could be better as well. I really like him. He's been getting some heat. I think recently people have been moving him down to like the 4 spot in mock drafts, but I'm a big fan of Paolo. I think he's going to be good no matter where he goes. It's not going to be a knock on him when I don't have him ranked as my best prospect here for the Magic, but just he has some things that he can improve on, but some people are worried that, you know, he's hit his ceiling. The stuff we saw him do at Duke is the best that he can do, whereas Jabari and Chet, you know, there was some superstar flashes out of them that could be more consistent in the NBA, but, you know, has a higher upside. So I wanted to do finally here just a final, you know, analysis ranking of the 3, and then make my prediction on, or not my prediction, but the guy that I want the Magic to draft. So I've divided these up by different categories and then given a 3-2-1 system, 3 being the best, 1 being the worst out of the 3. So the first one I have here is superstar factor. I think Chet's got the most superstar factor out of the 3. I mean, some people have said, you know, he could be like KD, because KD, you know, has got a similar build to Chet. I think he needs to gain a little bit of weight, and obviously it's very, very high expectations. But Chet's a guy, I mean, his just the skills that he has, you know, ball handling and, you know, working around guards, like he can get his own shot. I've got Jabari Smith at 2. I think he's going to be really, really solid. Could be like a LaMarcus Aldridge type player. Trying to think of some other player comps to him. But just a really, really good power forward. That defense is an area he can improve on a little bit, but and a little bit of his assertiveness too. He currently, you know, he required a little bit of help from players around him at Auburn. But if he doesn't have to be a rim protector, I think he can really do some good things. And then I've got Paolo at 1. Like I said, I think he's really good. It's just I don't think as a superstar, you know, he's going to be an all-NBA player. Scoring, Jabari, I got to give him the scoring. And that's something the Magic desperately need. They're a low-scoring team. They've got good defenders around them. I think Jabari instantly and throughout his career is going to probably be the best scorer of the group. I've got Chet second and Paolo third. Defense, I've got Chet first. I think he can add to his defensive game for sure, but the shot blocking is already there. I mean, I think he averaged 3 shot blocks a game. It's not even like it's just he's got such a long wingspan. He makes it look easy and effortless. So defense, I actually give the best to Chet. And then I'm going to give it to Paolo, and then third to Jabari. I think can improve, but, you know, not a knock on his game. He's not a bad defender. Basketball IQ, I'm giving this to Paolo. I think from watching, you know, Duke went far in the tournament. He had a lot of great games for him. So I think Paolo sees the court a little bit better, whereas Jabari and Chet more so need players around them to make them better. Bust potential. So this is a negative thing. I think Chet's the most likely to bust and be, you know, not a starting type player, mainly due to his size. And he didn't meet the expectations that people thought he would have at Gonzaga. People thought he would have a much better year than he did. That's why he's not a lock to be the first pick. And then I've got Jabari second, Paolo third on that. So I think Paolo is the least likely to bust and be a terrible player. Fit with the Magic. This is tough because the Magic still, we don't know what they'll do in free agency, trades, players leaving. But from what I think is going to happen with the rest of the Magic's offseason, I think Chet would be the best fit. Moving on from Mo Bamba, replacing him with Chet, I think is the best thing to do. Pair him with Jalen Suggs, who they went to high school together. I think with all the core players on the Magic, like they've got guards, Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner. So you're going to need a big man. These three are all big men, so I think the fit would be fine with all of them. But Chet, I do think's the best. And then when you add up all the points here, Chet gets 10 points from my system, and then I've got 7 for Jabari, 7 for Paolo. I would draft Jabari second if they have the first pick, but if they somehow traded the second pick, I would take Jabari. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this. Let me know who you think is the best prospect of the three. It's going to be interesting to, follow their career, see what teams they end up going to. And the draft is going to be very, very interesting to watch. I don't think the Magic are going to leak out who they're going to draft till, Woj will get the information before the draft. But, weeks ahead of time, we're not going to know. So it's going to be fun to see who people think it'll be. I'll be happy with any of them, but Chet is the guy I'm real excited for. So, yep, that'll be it. Thank you guys for listening and watching. And remember, be clutch.